Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hi.
Well,
I'm welcome to Subpellucid. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Glickman, and right here, right there, I got
good
that direction right
good
there, right
job. Good
there,
job.
the man with the plan, the man whose tax returns we will never see, the man who has the longest Facebook handle you've ever seen, the man whose last name I will never get, Mr. Chad Ia Patricia son. Uh, yeah. Uh, Welcome to Subpellucid, everyone.
I quit.
Well, that's typical. Like the show where anything can and most likely will happen. And today
Especially
we
if
have
it can
an
go wrong.
let's see what, yeah, and usually everything that can go wrong happens, which is great. We're okay with that. This is a disruptive show. Our goal is to disrupt the Talking Head show, and we hope to amuse you with our antics today. All of you people out there who are with us, I think there are about one, two, yeah, 2,000 of you out there. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoy the
Outstanding.
show. We have a few surprises for you today and a few really interesting tidbits, but most importantly, we have an amazing guest. So if you have questions for this guest, please post them. We will show them as we go along, and we'll have a special segment for you to ask your own questions. Our man today, how should we introduce him? Chad, I know what you know what I read about our guest today.
I don't know. I'm scared to ask.
He describes himself. That this is his first sentence in his about.
That's it? He
His
describes
about.
himself?
He describes himself as "I'm just like you." So what have
Well,
you got under your
I feel
hat?
like I need to send him a condolences or something.
Well, I hope he's not just like you uh, or me. So
Let's just bring him in
let's
because this is going
let's just bring him
south.
in. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, that's not who we were supposed to have. Welcome,
Again.
Angus.
Well, hey guys, this was awesome and awkward.
Well,
Good.
that's what we're going for.
I
AA.
love it. All right, so I've seen a couple of your shows, so I'm kind of ready for the awkwardness and the
So
goofiness. So I saw Rob Basabasababalus and
Nailed it.
I saw Jessica. So I think I'm ready, but I'm not sure that I'm ready. So fingers crossed this goes well.
At least you know that there's a good chance something's going to pop up that you haven't thought about maybe in quite a
This is
while.
true. This
Yeah,
is true. Yeah.
that's hilarious. Well, I say we just jump into it.
Hey.
You getting to know all about you.
This went platinum, by the way. Mike Forrester. Mike Forrester asked, "Can you ever truly be ready?"
I don't think so.
not for
It's
this.
making me
Not for
nervous.
our show, we hope. Well, this show, ladies and gentlemen, we attempt to get to know people you know in a way
That they
that maybe
don't.
you don't. Oh, that they don't. Yeah, whatever that means. So we try to ask some interesting questions and just get to know them in a slightly different way. So if you think you know Angus, if you think you like Angus, we hope you will like him even more. But that's up to you to decide. So
If we can come away without people liking him less, I figure it's a win.
it's a win. I think that's going to be hard to do, but let's find out. Let's try to see how to get people to like him less.
Uh,
But let's see if we can. We can only try, right?
uh, you know,
So
hey
yeah.
Angus, we were going to surprise you because a lot of people may not know this, but Angus is a twin. And we were going to get your twin to come in, and he was excited, but he found out there was a conflict of time. He wasn't able to do it, but that would have been a lot of fun.
From our dad.
Yeah, he's taking him to the doctor, so hope everything is okay
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But I was curious, being a twin, what's the craziest twin thing you guys ever did, or prank, or gag, or
All right. Well, that gives some context. I don't know that it's so much a gag. Like in high school, we used to switch classes. It totally worked out for my brother's behalf. Didn't work out for me because he would take my algebra IB course, and I would miss out on all that. And I went to like his English course or something like that. So we would switch classes, and most of the students knew, but for whatever reason, the teachers never figured it out. So that was great. And then when I got married, my brother tried to pretend he was me to kiss the bride during part of the party. He was like, "Hey, baby, I love you," or something like that. And my wife turned and saw him. She's like, "You're my brother-in-law. You're not my husband," or something like that. It's like, "No way, Marcus," or something like that. Like she knows. So my wife knows unequivocally, like which one is which. So we can't pull any pranks on her.
Wow, that could have really wow.
But I think my favorite, if I'm going to give you my favorite, is South by Southwest. This would have been probably circa 2011 or 12. I was in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest. I was there for a daddy blogging conference. And during the evenings, my brother, who at the time was head of social for Salesforce, had this swank, expense account. He was staying at the W. I said, "I'm staying with you, bro." So he dragged me to all the tech parties. And my brother must be ashamed of me because he didn't tell anybody there was an identical twin. And so we spent the entire night playing pranks on all of the like big names of the enterprise marketing space. And that's how I got to know like Brian Solis and Jeremiah Aoyang and Laura Fitton and, go on down the line. It was all because my brother would say, "That's so-and-so from such and such. They're a hugger or shaker. Go." And then I was like, "Yay!" And we pulled pranks on everybody. It was great. So that's probably my favorite twin thing that we've ever done.
I think we have a new profession for you, or a new gig for you. We could a twin for hire. So when we set up next time we go to a conference and have a booth there, we could bring the both of you and arrange some kind of prank or
twins
gag.
On demand. Yeah.
Twins on demand. Yeah. That would be a lot of fun. I think we could figure something out.
I think I'd enjoy that. Absolutely.
Now, a lot of us know you for being this motivational coach. You work with a lot of executives and powerful people,
right?
And which got me thinking about life coaches, because I see them everywhere. I keep getting these ads, the emails and about life coaches. Some of them look a little scammy to me. How would you handle that? What do you think about life coaches?
Yeah, so I don't even use that term for life coaches because it's gotten such a bum rap, and it seems like a whole bunch of people just decided one day to say, "Hey, I'm just going to be a life coach," thinking I can just like tell people, "Hey, do this, do that, whatever." And the way I contend with it is transformation. Like the thing I do in people's lives, and let's be clear, like I work exclusively with men. And so my backstory is one of going through challenge and overcoming a lot of stuff. And from that, learned a ton about psychology, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, etc., and started finding a kind of a little niche for myself to speak into men's lives in ways that were super honest and transformational. And so the number one thing I say is, to work with somebody, you have to know that they make transformation in your life. It's one thing when you can work with somebody who can help you with your Facebook ads, who can help you with some copy. It's another thing when someone's given permission to enter your life and like help you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. And so for me, that's a distinctive difference between some of the like kind of imposter life coaches and those who are actually doing the work of changing people's lives. So that's kind of probably the easiest way that I think I would kind of differentiate.
Tim Sohn says powerful people like Jim Fuse, by the way.
Yes. So he was one of my clients. He's great.
Excellent. Listen, something I wanted to touch on, we're talking about the whole life coach and just your career and where it's gone. I had heard that for a short time you actually had a career as a rap artist.
Oh God.
And
Okay.
I just kind of like to dig into that. Like, what were some of your hits? What was the name of the group? And how did that came about?
We were in college, circa 1989, 90, somewhere in there. And so that was kind of the explosion of um, MC Hammer and Run DMC. And then one in particular was Vanilla Ice. And so in college, my brother and I created a group called Vanilla Twice. And it was funny because we opened up. In fact, one of the shows we did, we opened up for I think it was the Dynamic Twins and Idol King, and they were all African American, and then the two of us got on stage, and so it was very Vanilla Twice. So yes, that was my short stint as a hip hop artist. But I used to dance, and that's how I kind of got into it. I used to compete for money and in dance competitions, and then I ended up going to college at a conservative Bible college where it was not good to dance, and I was no longer allowed to dance.
Especially for money.
Ridiculous. Especially for money. Dance up for money. I don't know the rest of the words.
Wow. Do you remember any of the lyrics from your rap hits?
Okay, so this is Bible school time, right? So it goes something like this. The chorus was, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I am not ashamed. He's my savior. He paid the price. I am not ashamed in Jesus' name. I can't believe I just did that or pulled that out of my cranium. That's ridiculous. So yeah, that's kind of the chorus. That was very DC Talkish.
That might be the highlight of the entire series of this program.
And there. I'm only doing it for you, Chad, because I know the nature of this show. Dang it. I can't believe
Laney just commented, this is gold, with the laughy emoji. So
I'm sweating. I am sweating. I'm so uncomfortable.
That's one of the perks of being on this show is you burn calories and you lose weight.
Is this all right? Next.
That's what. Chad. Yeah, I think we need to get you on some more shows. But let's move on to the next question. So you gave us a wonderful wrapping, I think, here. You describe yourself as you work as a motive. You work with powerful people. How about your kids? How are you as a parent to them? Tell us a little bit how this translates into your personal life.
So in 2009, part of my story was I closed down a nonprofit that I had helped start, and the economy had soured. So we closed that down, and we made a transition of me coming home, and my wife was working full time. She had a great job, gave us the latitude to do that, which is how I got into the whole dad influencer, dad blogging space, by the way. And so I was at home with the kids for 3 years, and just kind of catch up that backstory as going to that South by Southwest event and meeting Jeremiah Aoyang. That's how he and I became friends. And later I was thrusted into the corporate world because Jeremiah brought me on to help run the association we did together. But during all of that, we were looking at this whole element of the changing nature of peer-to-peer type of businesses. So it's crowdfunding, crowd lending, Uber, Lyft, all that peer-to-peer space, Airbnb. And so we decided we sell our house, and every month we lived in a different city. And so it was me and my wife and our two youngest kids, who at the time were 3 and 4. So I was always very highly present in their lives, both when I was a stay-at-home dad and then during that 1 year stint of just traveling. And one of the things that I did from a very early stage when I put my kids down to bed at night is when I went through a lot of my backstory, and we can jump into that if you want to, but part of my backstory was that I read a book that said one of the biggest struggles that men face is this thought of, I don't have what it takes. And so that's the ongoing question is, do I have what it takes? So for my kids, every time I would put them to bed, I would read to them, and we'd say our good nights, and then I'd say, I love you, I'm proud of you, and I believe in you. And then I'd say, why? And they'd say, because I have what it takes. And I'd make my kids say that. And for my daughter, I would say, you're beautiful, tell daddy why. And then she would say, because I'm kind, I'm generous, I share, ... And all those things, I would then challenge her and say, and where are those things? And she'd say, they're inside. And I said, that's right, baby girl, because beauty comes from the inside. And so those are things that I've done even to this day. Now my kids are 11 and 10. They know when we're going to bed, like that's part of our shtick. And so we'll be yelling, up the stairs, and I was like, and why is that? He'll be yelling, because I got what it takes. And now we've added another thing over the last 2 years. I started, and every day, and they'd yell back, in every way, we're getting better and better.
That's awesome.
And so, and then they'll go into like stronger and stronger, prettier and prettier, blah, blah, blah. Like they'll, break into these antics. But it's a way of me helping program their minds to believe in themselves, to know that they're loved, and that know that somebody believes in them. Because some of the things in my coaching practice I've come to understand is that we are more transformed by having other people believe in us than us believing in ourselves. And that's a challenge for some people because they think like, I have to believe in myself. I have to have confidence. And no, you don't. It's when somebody outside of you speaks into your life and speaks in that moment and says something powerful about you, of calling out your greatness, calling out your beauty, calling out your gifts. That's when you become transformed. That's when something changes inside and you feel like you matter, that you have meaning, that you have purpose. And with my kids, I'm trying to ingrain that in them, that I'm calling out of them their greatness. There's a little bit of it that backfires, and the fact that my son is like fearless, almost to a fault, like he's just a bit of a daredevil. But it's like, I'd rather have some wildfire than no fire. And I'll help him rein that in, but I want him to know that all things are possible. And so those are some of the ways that I help my kids in the same way that I help my clients.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the wildfire analogy, probably bad timing right now. But
sorry.
That's okay. We just want a disclaimer on that. He's a guest. He's not a permanent part of the show, and we're not responsible for what things he says.
And this is not the kind of show where we want to, where we, we're very delicate and sensitive, and we really don't want to offend anybody.
Yes, that's our mantra.
This is like a tea bag of sarcasm, just dips.
we just dip. We don't pull it back. We just leave it in there. So anyway, we already got a lot of like professional and advice from you, but I feel like maybe we could dig in a little bit more. So let's. Oh yeah.
My God, that is amazing. Oh my God, this is so crazy. I need to get my head in here now. How do I?
It's in. Oh, you want to get it just right. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. Chad, we need this clearly.
There's a screenshot. I gave you your screenshot.
You clearly thought that his head is bigger than it actually is. But
that's the survey results came back. That's what it said.
So bad.
So this is a section we call "Chillin' with the Guru," and where we have our guests and your fans ask you questions that they want to know about you.
Jim Q so far hasn't asked a single question. He's just blown a whole lot of smoke, is what he's done.
He likes to shout out. He does his shout out thing, and we respect it. We like it. We love you, Tim. It's good. And Jim, he likes to just be there with us, so we're good. We have a question from a longtime fan, sent in this early. It remains anonymous, asking, since you're a motivational expert, how do I motivate my in-laws to move into a retirement home?
There's other issues, it sounds like, are at play here. So boundaries is a big piece of that. So if they're trouble to have them in your house, then definitely some boundaries can be created. How do you motivate them into that?
Or manipulate. Manipulation is perfectly legit.
That's what it sounds like to me. Like, I don't know that you really motivate them into that. That's kind of a choice thing, because if things are super comfortable at your house, then they're going to stay at your house for a long time. If you make things a little bit more uncomfortable, where you create boundaries and you have, and I don't mean passive aggressive discomfort, I mean some expectations, like if you're going to be in this house, these are some of the things that we're going to need to require.
Right.
I need
Foot
time
massages.
for my kids, and that's still manipulative. But I'm trying to take this somewhat seriously. But creating boundaries where the expectations are like, you can't just be here and, you know, take advantage of the situation. We love you and we want you a part of our lives, but we have to do it from a way that it's a win-win for everybody. And so if you're going to leave messes, we can't have that. If you're going to disrupt while we're homeschooling the kids, we can't have that. If you're going to be sarcastic or mean or
not wear pants,
you know, jaded or not wear pants, like, this is something that is not allowed under this roof. Like, you have to create those kind of boundaries, and if they get to the point that those boundaries are not comfortable for them, they might be motivated then to go to some other place.
That could work. That could work for my teenage kids as well. Maybe that'll be good. I will try that.
I will wholeheartedly tell you, like, you'll pay for your own car, you'll cover the insurance, you'll pay for your own phone. You want to go on a trip? Awesome. Have a great time. Oh, you need money. The lawn needs to be mowed. The windows need to be washed. Like, that was one of the things for our oldest. Like, she loved to learn by experience, and she's awesome. She's amazing. Her teen years, not so much. They were a challenge. And we created different boundaries that caused her to step up and level up in her behavior. And some of those were, you know, hardline choices that she didn't always choose right. But through that, she was given the liberty to make choices that were right in, you know, in the end, eventually. And so that's one of the things that we have in our household is, like, we love you and we'll embrace you and we'll create those kind of environments for you. But like you said, if you want your kid to leave the house, like, the more comfortable you make it for them, you're actually acquiescing to enablement. You're enabling them to stay in your place. And so they're further annoying you, but it's all self-induced.
You've got nobody to blame but yourself.
Yeah.
Perfect. Got it. I get it.
Sorry, that's some straight talk.
No, that's okay. We allow that. We allow that. So we had another question for you. But actually, there was something else that kind of came to mind as you were saying the things you were saying. So I'm going to switch the question. Let's say you're the co-host of a great show online. Your co-host is a guy who wears, you know, suits and a fedora, likes to dress sharp.
Yeah.
And you're at a stage in your life where you're pondering whether or not you should color your hair blue. As a coach, what would you tell that person?
Live your dream, man. Live your dream. Don't let somebody else's level of expectation be projected upon you.
I have to say that the amount of love and hate I've received for this hair, it was and attempts to interpret the meaning. There is no meaning, people. It's just, I dyed my hair blue. That's it. There is no meaning to it. It was, with me, you never need to look deeper beyond the action itself. It's just look at the action itself. And then that's it. I am what you see. And there's no alternative. People ask you, what does it mean? Is this a political thing? Is this a, you know, is this a gender thing? What is it? I'm like, no, I was just bored with COVID and being home all day on Zoom and seeing my face. I just wanted to color my hair blue. And
I remember you were blonde for a season too, weren't you? Or green or something like that? You had another stint.
It's an iterative process. Yeah. And then I discovered.
Did you get your bobblehead, by the way?
I did. I got my bobblehead. How did you know about the bobblehead?
I sent you a bobblehead. Did you get the one I sent you?
No, I got one from somebody else. Huh.
I sent one for being on my podcast.
When was that?
Oh, I don't know. When were you on my podcast?
About 3 weeks ago,
Just
maybe more, maybe a month ago. So we
no. When you were on our podcast, that was what March. April, we're totally getting on a tangent, but yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
We'll,
anyway,
we'll
blue
follow up
hair.
at the end because I have a bobblehead I sent you.
This sounds like a really great time to jump into this little segment, guys.
Yeah.
If you need a drink, because I'm starting to feel like maybe I do, this is your time. All right.
So what do we do for 30 seconds?
Whatever you want to do.
Change
guys
your
can talk
adult diapers.
You guys can talk about bobbleheads or.
Seriously, you didn't get the bobblehead I sent you?
I did not get the bobblehead. I didn't even know a bobblehead is coming. You
well,
didn't
then
have.
I'll have to check. I
need to
sent you a
check-
bobblehead.
You need to check a delivery confirmation. I would love a bobblehead. I want a bobblehead.
I have the things here, so let's find out what happened to your tracking number.
I like the. Nice.
Sent to 1 Juniper Lane in Natick, Massachusetts.
Probably should have told him the mics were on.
Some people, I have nothing, nothing to hide. Anybody, I tried looking up someone, and I
You're
should
gonna
not
get
name
all
here
kinds of
recently.
stuff mailed to you now from this group of people
Like
who are
what?
watching this.
Bobbleheads.
Who-
Clearly, there's some filter that doesn't get them to me. So, I think we can move on to the next segment, which
I think we
is
should.
our favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. It is the segment we call "You've Got Some Explaining to Do."
Oh no, I'm nervous.
You should be. You really should be. But
I'm sweating.
I think we just played the intro to the 30-second marketer. So should we go ahead and take care of that and do that, knock that out?
We could do that first.
We already played the intro. Let's make it look like we know what we're doing, and just roll with that.
Yeah, I didn't even care what the intro was. So 30-second marketer of 30-second genius. Okay, in this segment, Angus, we task you with a task promotion you have to create in 30 seconds. Okay, you got 30 seconds to sell.
Sorry, excuse me. That was not supposed to happen.
Well, since we played the intro, we might as well do it. 30 seconds. Okay.
I'm so lost right now.
That's okay. That was the goal.
Well, this is all planned, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to be concerned about. And there is plenty of coffee for everyone. 30-second marketer. You have 30 seconds to sell us on the following product. Okay. You are going to launch a course on how to start a rap career at the age of 50. Are you ready?
So I have to sell. Okay, let me get it straight. So I have to sell a rap course.
Your marketing strategy for a new course on how to become a rapper at age 50.
So I'm selling the strategy.
You can sell the course, or you could
Sell the course.
Or give us the strategy
explain the
you
strategy. Either one.
All right, and
Are you
Oh,
Googling
gosh.
stuff? What are you doing?
He needs to plan. He's one of those organized people that need to sit and he might have a flow chart or a
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. He's like sketching.
All
and
right,
stuff.
you ready?
I think he's
Okay.
doodling.
Here we
He's
go.
buying time. Go.
so you've reached an age where you're ready to do something different. Have you gotten to a place where COVID has caused you to think back, like, what were the good old days like? And you remember back in those teen years where you're like, a lottie-dottie, oh, we like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're just the men on the mic. And when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic, right? Now's your time. This course right here is going to help you put together your rhyme, put together your licks. Because when you're over 50, it's not so nifty. It's time for you to live your dream and bring your rap back.
Wow.
Yeah, that was.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
If I could get my hands on some undergarments, I'd throw them on the stage right now.
Flowers. He meant flowers.
Flowers.
Flowers. So I think that answers the question, Chad. How did Angus do in his 30-second marketing.
Let's see the
Challenge.
score.
A 10.
A 10. A
That's
10 out of 100. Way to go, Nelson.
Yeah, we never revealed the scale.
Yeah.
We just want you to feel good.
We could make up our own scale. That would be cool for the next time.
I do
Let's
that
make a
every
scale.
morning.
I like that one. That works.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
this takes us to the next segment.
for real this
which-
time.
For real.
I'm pulling lyrics from the back of my head to my this is hilarious.
Pulled them from somewhere.
And this is a segment we call You've Got Some Explaining to Do.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And this is where Chad shows off his stalking skills, which are quite impressive. And in fact,
And
he's
I am
pulled
for
up.
I'm for hire, by the way. YouNeedAstalker.com. Just go in and
Yeah.
contact
Well,
us.
now the fedora makes sense. Now you're like,
Yeah.
you've got
That's
a Girl
Chad.
Tuesday and you're doing your investigations.
Exactly.
If you do want to hire Chad, please don't hire him as a stalker. You can hire him as a videographer, as a social media manager kind of thingy. You can hire him for your remote video production. You can hire him for many things, but please, he will do this stuff for free. You don't have to hire him as a stalker.
So this first little bit, basically what we're going to do is we're just going to pull some things up that we found as we were trying to do research, because we like to be prepared for our guests. We want them to shine, and what better way to make you shine than for us to take a look and try to get to know more about who you
so
are.
nervous right now.
So this first little bit actually is video. We edited it to make it a little shorter. It's still about a minute and a half long, but there was just some excitement here that I felt it was contagious, and so let's take a look.
And one of the major sponsors for this event is a company called Chevrolet.
audio?
They
hold on.
want to provide some of
Hold
the
on, let's try
attendees
this here.
with
There should have been. I'll get it real quick.
and one of the major sponsors for this event is a company called Chevrolet. They want to
I know
provide
exactly
some
what
of the
this is.
attendees with the opportunity
Yeah,
to
I
actually
do.
experience some of their new vehicles. We, my family, my wife, and 3 kids actually get to experience that. In fact, this is the car right here, a Traverse, a Chevy Traverse. We're going to pile into that car. It's got three row seating, which is awesome because we have like baby seats and stuff like that. I was just reading through some of the stuff. We actually have 300 minutes of phone time on their OnStar, as well as turn-by-turn navigation. How cool is that? Because I tend to get lost. And I have my little trusty iPhone, but this thing is old school. It's 2G. I don't have the fancy schmancy, and so my dot isn't altogether accurate, and I
gen.
always get lost. They gave us a gift box. We have a koozie. Chevrolet. Koozie to keep my drinks cold, which is perfect because I have beer here with lime.
We won't be drinking that though while we're driving.
Not while we're driving.
No,
Absolutely
he's
not.
drinking it
Look at
before
that.
he took
There's
this
one right
video.
there. That's a t-shirt. Huh? Another one. Chevy Bolt. What is this?
What happened to that shirt?
It's a bag of something. Don't spill my beer. Oh my gosh. Sweet. We get ourselves a little bit of recording
Remember
time.
those things?
Thank you. I am recording, sweetie. Look at these. For the kids, animal bands.
Oh my god.
Get this. Here you go, baby girl. There's your bracelets. Say thank you to the camera.
Thank you.
Say thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Chevrolet.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I should show her this video. That would be so great. All right. So I have to
So-
explain what happened there.
Yeah, what was going on there?
Yeah, how did you end up getting up on a shopping channel?
Okay. So, so the very first dad conference that I was a part of is called Modern Media Men in Atlanta, Georgia. I was living in Huntsville, Alabama, and so one of the sponsors was Chevrolet, and so they sent us this vehicle so that we could have the experience of taking our family down to the conference and speak at the conference and then just capture content. So it was like a branded experience, right? And we weren't even really doing a lot of branded content yet. Like I got into influencer marketing, later in my career, and we still do it now as our family. In fact, we have a trip coming up this week to Virginia. Thank you, Virginia. And so like this was the very first time. So obviously I was super excited because I'd never gotten anything from a brand before. So we were getting all this swag. We got this car that we had to drive. Of those 300 minutes that we called, I think we only used like 6 of them. We called like some people that nobody answered. And then I think we finally got through to my wife's mom, and she didn't really care. Didn't think it was all that exciting. But at that conference is where I met, even though like as from an event, it wasn't really very successful, but from a meeting networking thing, I met like CC Chapman, Jason Falls, and a lot of the guys I'm still friends with today were as a result of going to that conference. That was kind of my first introduction into a bigger marketing world. So yeah, that's actually, there's a lot of fond memories attached to that experience.
That's one of the things we like about this segment. It does take you down memory lane, like for this example.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I think I was visiting some friends in this, and I was a little bit more portly back then. Yes.
Is this how you always visit friends?
What's the next video or picture? That would be great. Oh, our first trip to Disney. We got to go to Disney World down in Orlando and take our family as a family. It was awesome. And this picture is awesome too, because that's what you do when you're in Disney. So we went back a second time, and this time we had my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and stuff like that. And one of the things I always said, or always like kind of commented when I saw families that all wore the same shirts, I'm like, look at those guys, how goofy. I will never do that. Until we had all of us and all of our kids, and so we all had these baby blue T-shirts with, you know, Daddy Disney, Mommy Disney, Sister Disney, ... So yes, ultimately the next time around, that's exactly what we wore.
That's funny.
What? This is me and a good pipe sitting on my back deck. That would have been. We're still living in Huntsville, Alabama back then.
I didn't know you were a pipe guy.
It makes perfect sense.
I'm more of a cigar guy. To me, pipes, sometimes they're a little trickier. I don't do it enough to get really good at it. So I either pack it a little too tight or not tight enough. And there's definitely a discrepancy in kind of the order of how you pack your tobacco. However, I have right here behind me in this little box right over here, I do have a pipe, and I just bought some new tobacco to try it out. It's like a bourbon infused tobacco. I'm actually kind of excited. So I'll probably break that out sometime here in the near future, especially now that it's fall.
Somebody wants to know what your favorite cigar is.
That's Taylor's.
So I like, so there's, I mean, brand wise, there's, Romeo Juliet's, those are great. Gosh, what's the one I just has? Gurkha is a brand I smoke a lot, and Gurkha has a big range. They have some really crappy ones, and then they have some middle range, some more higher end ones. I like the ones that are a little bit smoother. I don't like really hard, heavy cigars, the full bodied ones. I like kind of a medium. I don't like the light either, so I like it like right in between, not too bold, not too light, just right in the middle. 1776, I think it was one brand I like. Oh, no, not that. It's a whole different thing. I'm thinking of Fifth Avenues by Gurkha. Those are nice. They're Connecticut-based tobacco. I don't know if you know anything about cigars.
I don't, but Taylor is when I asked the question, so.
Yeah. So if you're sending me some, any of those would be fine.
We won't give out his address, but since we've already given out Daniel's, you can send them to him and he'll forward them on.
Okay, this we had to ask. What exactly are we seeing here?
So, okay, so obviously my tattoo is a little too obvious there. It's kind of hard to see, but so it's 3 old men, and I like to say it's Father, Son, and Holy Ghost laying their hands on my hand, my heart, and my feet. My hands to heal, my heart to understand, and my feet to share peace.
Love it.
So that was I got it from a gift card. It's a crazy story, actually. I went to Venezuela was leading a mission trip. Gosh, this is going back to my faith-based days, way back when I was with a missions organization, and we'd just gotten back from Venezuela, and one of my mission advisors had sent me this card, and it had that imprint on the front of it, and was thanking me for helping them, blah blah blah. And I kept looking at them. I was like, man, one day I want to, make that into a tattoo. And I had the card for probably 3 or 4 years. And then one day I flipped the card over, on the back side of it, it had a buddy's name named Ernest Ray was the artist. I'm like, holy crap. I went to school with it. I went to college. The guy who did the art on that card was a guy I went to college with. And so anyway, I finally got that tattooed, and I probably need to get it all cleaned up. It's a little dark. But you want to know what's cool? Where I'm at is I am on the I forget what you call it. The
beach. It's called the beach.
I'm in Nice, France. On the big Champs-Élysées thingamabob. No, that's wrong. It's some other French thing. It's the big boardwalk thing in Nice, France. So that's where that is.
That is cool. That's cool. Yeah, but I saw it and I was like, I wonder what the tattoo was. So all right.
We thought it was the 2 old men from the Muppets, but we were wrong.
You have to really zoom in.
Yeah.
What do we got
this
here?
Is hockey. So I played a lot of hockey growing up. All my weekends and several weeknights, I played hockey for 14 years. I think 14 seasons I played.
Wow.
So yeah, and now I'm trying to get my son into it, and he was just getting going, getting his skating legs, and then COVID hit. So I just got my refund back from the session that he was supposed to be a part of that they canceled. So we're hoping that the next session will be COVID friendly and we can get back to hockey.
I wanted to play. It's one thing I never got to do. My dad played. My cousins played. They're all from Long Island, but I grew up here.
Oh, right.
But, so I grew up an Islanders fan.
My stick is right there behind my guitar. There's my hockey stick right there.
Oh, that's too cool. Too cool. One thing I wish I would have done. What's going on
here? South by Southwest, Austin, Texas. I was zipping that around the registration room. Somebody had it. I asked if I could ride it. They said yes. So I was a bit of a menace. Security didn't take too keenly to me. They didn't stop me, but they definitely gave me stern eyes. And so then I'd slow it down and then I'd speed up. Yeah, that would have been probably 2014, I think, ish. 2015, something like that.
Too fun. Hey, you got to remember to play and have fun. It's important, right?
I absolutely encourage that. What's up, brothers?
Okay, this has got some explaining to do.
So this is me and my twin brother, and our Flavor Savers are a product of the late 90s. And yeah, I guess that was the rock god look at the time or something. So we had this coffee shop that had lots of concerts. We did over 500 shows, and it was a young adult. It was a young adult art center, teaching young people how to do music, and then we did some life studies class. Kind of did some motivational stuff with them too. Taught them graphic arts. And so we had computers, it was a cyber cafe, and then we did all these concerts. And so this is one of our press picks that we did for the media. And this was in central Wisconsin in 1999, probably. And yeah, in central Wisconsin had never heard of a cyber cafe.
That's hardcore. Twins, twins, you'll hear like they dress alike or, they look alike. But you guys did we're going to grow our facial hair alike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. And I don't know necessarily who did it first. So I can say this look that I have right now, I did this one first. I gave up, shaved my head somewhere around 2008, something like that. I gave up and grew my beard. And then a few years later, my brother started doing the same thing. So now we both have this look. He likes to grow his beard a little bit longer than me.
Well, if you ever dye your hair blue, I say I did it first.
There you go. Yes, and I'm just following suit. Ah, that's me and my wife. So we ran one of those adventure races type of things, which are kind of cool. and they give you these hats when you cross the finish line and these medals. And that doesn't, just so you know, that's like not first place or third place. Like for all I know, we came in like 367th place. It's just a participation trophy for today's kids.
But you had to complete
That's all it was.
Right? You had to finish.
But we completed it, yes. And it was so fun to do it with my wife, because when I was younger, this is before I went through all my stuff. Like I was a bit of, I was highly competitive, but I was also highly selfish. And so I actually hiked up Pikes Peak with a team once, and I was partnered with this girl, and she didn't bring enough water, and she didn't dress appropriately, and she didn't train appropriately. And so like I basically, after like, I mean, no more than maybe 500 meters up the mountain, I basically tied a sweatshirt to my waist, handed her the sleeve, and said, "Come on." And I dragged her up the hill to tree line. We stopped, and she drank all my water, and I said, "I'm out." And I just hiked the rest of the way past tree line up to the top of Pikes Peak without her. And then they used me as an example of what not to do. So here we are years later running this course. I think this is called the Warrior Dash, I think, or something like that. And it was such a cool experience to do it with my wife and fight through all the struggles and go through all the like temptations of like, you know, I gotta win. I gotta give it. It's like, you know what? No, I'm just going to have the experience, and me and my wife are going to do something together.
That's
and
awesome.
So that's actually a really awesome picture right there.
That was pretty neat.
Oh God. So after college, I moved to Los Angeles to try and pursue a modeling and acting career and music. Like I was trying to do something. And then right after we got there, I was working in North Hollywood at LA Fitness, back when LA Fitness had only 13 stores. And the verdict for Rodney King came out, and the whole city just turned on its ear. And so here I was, a little Wisconsin boy in LA saying, what has happened? So I moved up to Canyon Country shortly thereafter, and then there was an earthquake in Big Bear. And so I woke up to my whole room just kind of giving this big shimmy. And my college roommate was passing through town. We were hanging out. We actually got to get, total side note, we went to Arsenio Hall and saw DC Talk and Dick Van Dyke on Arsenio Hall. And then he said, look, I'm going up to Sun Valley, Idaho for the season. You want to come with? And I'm like, let me pack my bags. And I quit my job and jumped in the car with him and drove up to Sun Valley. And I ended up living there for like 3 years. And during part of that, my brother came, he worked in the music industry, and then he came up and joined me the last year I was there. And J. Crew came to town to do some photo shoots for the Christmas catalog. And so they actually did the shoot in April in preparation for the Christmas in 1996. And so me and my brother were 2 of, I think, 7 people picked, and there were like 700 some odd people that auditioned.
Oh, wow.
And we made the cut. And there's actually, we did a scene. Back then, they didn't have digital. It was all film. So they'd like burn through rolls and then have to throw in another film roll. We did a shoot with, yeah, there you go, me juggling, with Muriel Hemingway is actually in that shoot too. And so me and Muriel were, and my brother were supposed to have this like snow fight. So they had little shovels and we were like throwing them at each other. And at first it was like really sweet, like, oh, you got me. Yeah. Until you got enough snow down your back. And then it got a little, you know, a little competitive. And Muriel, I knew her from being on the ski hill, because my job on the ski hill, I was a ticket checker. And so I worked with all the VIPs and celebrities, everything from like Arnold Schwarzenegger and like Bruce Willis and Demi Moore back when they were married, and Clint Eastwood, like a big list, Daryl Hannah. So anyway, so I knew Muriel from being on the ski hill, and this is April. So if you know anything about snow in the spring, during the daytime, the snow will melt from the sun, and at night it'll go cold, and the top surface will be ice. And so we had to crush that all up before we did the shoot and stuff. But my brother had turned around and grabbed some snow that had some ice chunk in it, and he turned around just as Muriel had just dumped snow down my back, and she turned around and got a face full of this, you know, the ice pellet stuff, and it kind of gave her a little split in her chin, and she started bleeding. And then she started giving us crap about being prima donnas and trying to get her out of the shoot. They had to stop the whole thing and do makeup, and it was embarrassing and funny all at the same time. And she just gave us all this crap. I mean, she was all in good fun, but yeah, that was our 15 minutes of fame in J. Crew.
And this is from the same catalog?
Yeah, that's all from the same catalog. So back then, J. Crew would do like a series of catalogs, where like 20 of them from December through, Christmas, or December 1st all the way through Christmas, or something like that. I'm exaggerating. I don't know how many.
Well, next time we meet up, we'll have to juggle, because my brother and I used to team juggle. We performed. We would do shows and stuff.
Well, and I can ride a unicycle. We could do a show.
Dun, 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 dun,
I used to ride a 6-foot unicycle, so we can hang out and do that too.
Mine was 8 foot tall.
Amazing.
I wasn't about to go that high.
My unicycle is taller than your unicycle.
That's fine.
Actually,
I don't like
people
heights.
don't realize this. People don't realize this, but the taller the unicycle, the easier it is, because it takes much longer to get down, fall down to the ground, and by the time you get down, you can have your feet on the floor proper. If it's a short unicycle, it just goes flying out, and your face is right flat on the pavement.
I broke my hand riding my 6-foot unicycle though once because of a fall, but it was an unexpected thing. But that's for another time. This show's not about me; it's about you.
Oh, hi, Brian Schulman, Mike Forrester. Okay, yeah. Oh, yes, and you walk on ceilings too. We got to see that. Mike Forrester just brought that up.
Yes. But again, not about me. This is about you.
Okay.
No, it's
Don't avoid this crazy pose with floaties on.
I have no earthly idea where that's from.
So like a repressed memory.
You're obviously on a boat.
I think we were traveling with the kids, and someplace had a pool, and I was wearing the kids' floaties.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what did they wear?
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, I just threw them in the water and said, "Fend for yourself, kiddo."
This is a learning moment.
Oh my gosh. This is my wife posting this. Guys, I married a soap opera star from General Hospital. Yep, that's my wife. Hi, that's my senior picture from high school. I was a dreamboat, right? I don't have anything to say about this.
What's a General Hospital? What was that about?
Because I think she thinks it looks very soap opera-esque. General Hospital was a soap opera on TV back when.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you would actually had a cameo or something. I didn't know. So.
No, the good-looking doctor.
There you go.
Yeah.
I just played one on TV.
Who the actor is always like 21 years old, but yet they are senior doctor at the big hospital. Yeah,
right.
So, and it looks like that. And this is the after photo. So she married you.
That's
and
the
then
after.
This is what she gets. Yeah.
And then she got the real me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This is just me being ridiculous.
This is.
I love that hat though. That was a hat I wore for everything and anything. I beat the tar out of that hat.
Some serious sideburn action you got going too.
Yeah.
Yes. So that must have been
Thursday,
2004, 2005, maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
I have to see
Up
the rest
here
of
in
that
Boston,
picture.
we call those muttons.
Mutton chops. Yes.
Mutton chops. Yeah. That's
all right. We just got a couple more. 2 more here.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't look like that, but I'm hoping. Give me a few more weeks. I'm trying to get back into shape.
There you go. Yeah. Bravo.
So I joined a boot camp. In fact, after this call, I have to race off to Iron Tribe to go get my butt kicked again. Because as a coach, I realized that having coaches for other areas of life are super helpful. This one was when we were traveling. A lot of the places we stayed all had gyms inside of them. And so this one is in, what was it? Panama City Beach, Florida. We stayed at this like Wyndham thing where we like rented the place for like dirt cheap for a month, and they had this gym. And so I would go down there and I'd work out every morning. And this is what my arms used to look like.
Gotcha. All right. Well, last one.
There they are, the Nelson twins. Part of that senior picture package. Look at the hair though, huh? We had follicles. Now I'm follically challenged.
It just moved from up here to down here.
And a little bit on my back and chest and stuff.
And ears. And the ears.
Yeah,
mentioned.
I get a little scrunch in
Yeah.
there. But
And
yeah,
nose.
that was the Nelson boys. Look at that. I
So,
think we're putting on our blue steel.
I don't think you answered this yet. So, who was who? So maybe we should let people they can put in their votes and guess which one is you and which one's your brother, and we can reveal that in the comments later.
And if you get it right,
you get nothing,
then...
but a good time.
You get a good, yeah. But you get to feel good about yourself. How about we just leave it out there and never tell the actual answer, so people just go crazy? No, we will let you know in the comments after the show. So we'll give a chance for those who are watching the replay to guess correctly, and we'll post the answer in a follow-up post in a couple of days. How about that? I think that ends this segment, doesn't it, Chad?
It
does.
Oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Okay, sweet.
Yep.
We missed the good stuff in that case. Oh. So, this is the segment. Well, let Chad introduce the segment. He usually introduces the segment.
So,
he does a good
job. We spent the last hour kind of just having fun, getting to know you.
Yeah.
We all do our stuff and market our stuff and our businesses and whatnot, but we're in a unique industry where a lot of us know each other, and that's kind of the show. We wanted to do something fun, but also give everybody a chance to kind of get to know each other a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we had our time picking with you, but you also took time out of your day to do this with us. So we want to give you a moment to just kind of plug what you do and say whatever you want. This is our 60-second elevator pitch. The door already opened, so we're gonna pretend you've gotten inside. The door will close, and you'll see the timer will start as it goes up to the 60th floor, and that's your time to say whatever you want. So,
all right,
let's get the elevator closed, and it'll. Here we go.
Well, hi, I'm Angus Nelson, and I am a men's mindset coach. I also help with lifestyle strategy. I help high-achieving men break through their limiting beliefs, build a bulletproof mindset, and catapult the sense of fulfillment in their life. I work with men to kind of help, first and foremost, understand their mindset and how critical that is to everything that they do. And I build upon that an attitude that sees life as abundant instead of a place of lack. From that, I help them to understand their nature, which is their identity, to know who they are and what they're about, to then getting them to a place of self-awareness and building a humility to know that their gifts, their talents, and skills have a place to play in the world. And then furthermore, I help them with understanding that they have opportunities in their life to develop self-awareness and emotional intelligence, to see the opportunities in the world where they can finally dare to do something amazing. And so I help them bridge the gap from where they are to where they want to be.
Well done. You're the first one to actually be able to take the whole 60 seconds, but I knew you would. I knew you'd be able to do it. So, well done. Well done, sir.
Well, I know that Jessica got done sooner, and so I wanted to milk it for all it was worth.
I think Rob got all the way up to the 60th floor as well, if I remember correctly.
We had to ask him a couple follow-up questions to kind of, hold his hand and help him get there, but no, it was good. Angus, we appreciate you coming and doing this and just hanging out with us today.
Oh, dude, I thank you. Like, you guys are so fun, and I love this format, and especially what's going on in the world today. Like, we need levity and we need to laugh, and my cheeks are very sore right now because you've had me smiling this entire time. So I hope all of you who are listening at my expense, at all of our expense, that you're having a good time as well, that you are embracing this life you've been given. You got one shot at it, and so embrace it and milk it for all it's worth. That's my hope for you.
Daniel?
I've got nothing to top that. I think it's just time to roll on to the credits.
All right. Angus, thanks again for being here. Folks,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hopefully see you next week if you don't have anything better to do. And if you don't have anything better to do, you're in our prayers.
If you don't have anything better to do, oh my gosh.
So here's our credits for this week.
That was
Do you know,
good.
if someone wants to get that mindset stuff, I could have sent them to 10minutemotivator.com.
Make sure you put you can put the link in the in the comments or whatever. And
Vanilla Twice. You already knew about Vanilla Twice.
yes, we had this.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
We had it.
Inbred
we
coaches
also,
at Tennessee. Cousins consulting with cousins.
And we really made an effort, Angus, to not mention the fact that you're not wearing any pants. We were, that would have, we were really tempted to bring that up, but we didn't say anything.
General Hospital, no stars, no service. Make sure your social platform has stories. We didn't even get into all that. I love stories.
Yeah,
I mean, I told somebody earlier that we were having you on, and I was like, we could end up doing a 3-hour show with him. So, and I
wait, we're still live.
Yeah, I did it again.
You did it again. Every single time.
I click credits and then I start talking to you guys, and I forget to hit stop on the stream. So,
it's a good thing we didn't say anything sensitive, like give our addresses out or something.
Yeah,
that would be foolish.
Yeah.
How silly.
So much for ever getting hired to produce a show because this level of professionalism over here.
When in situations like this, I call it creativity.
We'll call it that. Okay, and we'll just end there.